Hey, how's it going, y'all? Welcome back to another manga weekly review. I am once again late on this one. I'm gonna figure something out about this. This time I was a little bit late because we had some bangers hit on Thursday, but I may look into maybe next week trying a split, but we'll see because I think a couple of the ones that came out on this last Thursday aren't coming out next Thursday. But we'll see how it goes. We're going to start out with our main Thursday culprit, Kaiju number 8. We start out with the whole, like, there's new Kaiju popping up, which I think are all going to be Kaiju that we're end up battling at some point. There was one that was really interesting to me, was the one, there was one that's like, it appears on the highway and it's racing cars and stuff. So that's interesting. But yeah, there's more Kaiju sightings all over Tokyo. Just all over Tokyo, all over Japan, not just Tokyo. So now they're just like, oh, do we need to concentrate our forces in one spot, or do we need to spread out all over the place? We don't know how we're going to do this. And we ended with Shinomiya stepping up to wield the Kaiju weapon number 4, which we find out was previously wielded by her mother. So that'll be interesting. Next up, we have World Trigger, which is one of the ones where I'm like, I don't think we'll get one next week, but we'll see. For me, is honestly on a kind of slow end at the moment. They're doing the battle sims, and mind you, if this gets animated, it'll be more interesting because the animated battle sims and stuff and whatnot. Right now, it's not it's kind of just bam, 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 kind of just going through them. It's a little dull for me. We do end the chapter with Katori hitting one of her little like slumps where she just doesn't feel like doing anything anymore. So we'll see how they react to getting her back in the groove things. We'll see. Next up, one that, so Kaiju, expect on Thursdays. World Trigger, I expect at the beginning of months. Those expected. I was not expecting a Blue Exorcist chapter. And oh my, this was a banger of a chapter. There's a lot happening. Freaking, what's his name? Okamura brother with the glasses knocks the crap out of Eye Patch Man and is like, let me shoot. I'm a better shot because I wear glasses and you have eye patch. It's not what he said, but it's basically what he's saying. And Eye Patch was like, good job, you've passed the test. And I'm just like, we're in a war. This ain't no time to be testing people. Hello? But he's gonna try to shoot Satan with the anti-Satan bazooka. It's gonna be a little tough because there's like a rock field of debris going around, so we'll see. Rin goes in and is like, I can't believe you hate humans so much. I can't believe you love my mother. And Satan's like, no, I didn't. No, I hated her filthy stench. And you smell like her. And he's like, I hate humans. And just like uses his power to just rip Rin apart. And I'm just like, what? Rah. I mean, I knew Rin wasn't dead because there's no way that ends like that, but that was still like, but of course, through the power of Satan, his own power, kind of backfired on him. Rin reassembles himself. The part that I like here is, if I remember correctly, I might be getting this wrong, but if I remember correctly, it was said before that for Rin to truly embrace and really truly be able to use Satan's power, he'd have to give up his humanity. And the line he says here at the end of the chapter is that he goes, living is enough. That is enough for me and human beings to continue fighting. And I'm just like, he just separated himself from other humans. He is fully accepted that he is not a human and has separated himself from that. And now he's going to be able to freaking go crazy with his power. And I'm here for it. I want more Blue Exorcist. I don't. Like I said, I don't know how chapters. I didn't really check to see when the new chapters are, so we'll see. We'll see what Blue Exorcist. I don't know if I can wait another month though. Like, I honestly forgot Blue Exorcist was still going. So it's been that long since the last chapter. Next, we have Super Smartphone. Pretty short chapter. We get the aftermath of the Muda call and, you know, him getting saved. And then him going, hey, Muda, check the private DMs, but look for this specific dude's name. And Muda's like, I don't know if I want to do that. But he's just like, oh, okay, whatever. And checks, finds out that guy's still like, that dude's still his friend. He's still trying to be his friend. That's like his childhood friend. So it works out. Muda gets to go home happy. Pseudonym, on the other hand, gets caught on film. He let his guard down, got caught. And we end the chapter with, I already forgot his name, but other smartphone dude saying that Muda's value now is useless, and essentially says goodbye, and it implies he's gonna kill him. So we'll see how that goes. I think he's gonna die, and that's gonna set Pseudonym off an edge, I think. Next we've got Earthchild. Death Chick is going real hard to try to destroy this family. He's making Mamoru's parents freaking suffer like crazy, and it's like, look, hey, you can help them save their lives, and they'll suffer the rest of their lives, and they'll never be able to smile again, or you can just let them die, and I'll teach you everything, and you'll be ready to take on your earth-saving natural disaster thing, and I will help you. And he struggles with the decision, right? Because he doesn't want to live a life where his parents aren't smiling. But then he remembers a memory of his father's, of him with his father, and in the end, he decides to save them. So that's good. That's good. Remember that, Mamoru. You can do it. They can beat this death god chick person who also, like, she's like supposed to be the death chick, I think, or something like that, but she like defo doesn't fit the death aesthetic that we're so used to. Quite the opposite, honestly. Mostly rainbows and sunshine. So that's just a funny side thought. Next we've got Doron. Another kind of quick one. We just get a boom, 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 boom of the samurai officers fighting the Mononoke that they all got lined up against, and they kind of like wipe the floor with them. Like, I wanted to see how strong the samurai officers are, but that was a bit much. They kind of just said, you don't exist anymore. I don't know, unless there's another tier of the Momonoke, or this ends up being like that the big dude is like 300,000 times worse than these dudes. His lackeys were kind of trash, honestly. So it was kind of off-putting a little. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes from here. Mashal decided to go curveball this week, and turns out Rain does care for his brother, in a sense of he hated that they were mistreated as children, as orphans, and like his whole purpose he wants for becoming Divine Visionary is to create a society in which the orphans are not looked down on. So that's interesting. Rain has a heart. That's good to know, at least. Next up is Aliens Arena. There's a nice little Doctor Who reference in here with a alien who does a parking violation, parked his mimicry type spaceship in a park but it's a telephone booth. Yeah, I don't know how much more on the nose you can get with that. So our MC tries to give the guy the parking ticket he needs to give him, and the alien's not having it, and he is struggling. Like, the alien's like, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" And he ends up helping the guy, telling the guy who's with him, be like, I need your help." And the guy just like throws down and is like, "Look, you take the parking ticket or we deport you." And the guy's like, "How you deport me?" It's like, "Oh, but look, you don't understand how processes go on this earth. It's not just a matter of, oh, you get kicked out now. No, you're gonna be stuck in an alien jail while we process the paperwork on this deportation, and then we gotta go and use our old school analog technology to contact your home world to let them know that we're gonna be sending you back to them and all this stuff." And he just goes in, and the guy's like, no, I'll parking ticket it is." Which is, I'm just like, what? Okay. And he really, it's literally just, it's teaching the MC, hey, you don't got to do everything yourself. You've got superiors, you've got teammates to help you out. Ask for help. It's not that hard. Honestly, the fact that this man has 2 children he takes care of and he didn't understand that concept already before is a little terrifying. But he learned it, so I guess it's okay. Next up, we have Pianissimo. Regiro destroyed Rin in votes. It's like 800 to 100, like not even in the same plane of existence. And we get a little like, oh, Regiro talking to Rin and being like, "Look, don't give up. I want you to be my dawn, or walk with me into the sunset," or something like that. And Melalene and Mimi are watching it from far away. And Mimi's like, "He's going to quit, isn't he?" And Melalene's like, "Yep." And Mimi's like, "You talking to me, Melalene?" And so it's like, "Yeah, you've been following me all around all day." And so now they're going to go up their own battle. And we'll see how it goes. Kind of excited for that one. Next up is Akane Banashi. We learned that the reason her parents named her Akane was because it was Aka for Scarlet, or if my lessons I've been taking in Japanese, I believe, because it could also just be red, but because red is a kai, so red or scarlet. Sound, the ne is sound, so scarlet sound. And the scarlet was because of the sunset they could see when she was born. So that's an interesting, it's a cool name, honestly. And it transitions from that into like, parents don't give children's meaningless names. Though I will beg to differ with the manga artist here, with the mangaka here. Plenty of parents name their children meaningless things. At least in America they do. I can't tell. There's a story from when I was a freshman in college of a little girl who was born and her name was hashtag. I mean, you're overestimating parents. But that's a side thing. That's just the whole side thing. It switches on to people who are spectating her tell the story. And the chick who's the voice actor is like, I never thought of doing storytelling this way. The way that she's doing it is, it's the more that she's telling the story, the more the imagery of the story is seen in the forefront, and her own presence fades to the background, which personally for me is what I believe true storytelling should be. You can be a great storyteller, but people are not going to remember you, and that's okay. They're going to remember your story, though, and they're going to remember how you delivered it, and how when you told the story, they could see it. Like, they felt like they were there. And that's how a true storytelling should be, or what a storyteller should aspire to be able to do, right? So it's interesting that they mentioned this in here. Like, I just feel like it makes the story better that way. So I like that they made a little note of that here. Next up, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. Just a short little fight. We got the cursed spirit that attacked them a couple chapters, or last chapter. Bow dude, whose name is Noritoshi, tries to kill him with the bow. He takes the form of a cursed womb and then tries to use one of his abilities to kill to exorcise him while he's in the cursed womb, and he thinks he got it, but turns out he doesn't, and he gets flat out backhand punched out the way. Pretty sure he's dead. Either that or he's fine and he'll be back, and he'll get like a little mini power up, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. Next up, we got MHA. Shigaraki coming back with that. I do have friends. This one dude likes to go on walks with me. And Lemina's like, sorry, bro. Didn't mean to step on your toes and whatnot. Which honestly, you can't think you didn't strike a nerve into him if you by tell. Doesn't matter who you could be talking. You could be talking to the most narcissistic person in the world, and you tell them, "Oh, I see. It's because you didn't have friends." I'm sure that'll strike a nerve. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But because of this little outburst of his, we learned that All For One and Shigaraki are not fully merged together yet. There's still a little bit of a fissure there, which is exciting to hear because I'm still very much in the camp of Deku is going to save Shigaraki. Like, he will beat All For One, but at the same time still save Shigaraki. So if they're not fully fused yet, this leaves a possibility for Deku to still save Shigaraki. Also, we end with Sun Eater getting ready to fight Shigaraki, so that'll be great. We're gonna freaking see him do something, and he's apparently been prepping for this for a while, so this is gonna be good. I know it. Next, we've got Black Clover, which out of left field, wasn't expecting Black Clover this week. Honest to God, I thought it had finished. Did not know it was on hiatus. I thought it had done. Because the way the last chapter ended was a perfectly normal way. Like, I would have been okay with it ending there. But no, it didn't. We've still got more Black Clover to go. I'm all right with this. I'm excited. Asta's now a senior Magic Knight first class. Yuno is a Grand Magic Knight, beating Art Boy's record for youngest Grand Magic Knight, which he's so upset about that. We get more Charlotte being freaked out by Yami's presence kind of deal and running away, and Yami going, didn't she like confess her love to me? Is this how she shows affection? Like, he's just, he doesn't know what's going on. He's a little confused. Bird Chick messes with Noelle and Plant Healer Chick by being like walking up to them while they're all freaking out about how much they love Asta. Walks up and is just like, hey, Asta's gonna confess his love to someone. And they're just like, is it me? And it's like, no, it's not. Of course it's not. It's the sister. Duh. So he, for the last time, asks the sister to marry him. And she goes, no, I can't. You're like a little brother to me. And he goes, yeah, I know. Which I'm just like it sounds stupid, but that is such great character development there. Like, that shows the growth that he's had, that he has gotten to a point where he knows, like, that's just not a thing that's going to happen. He goes, well, watch over me in my unwavering vow to become the Wizard King. And she's like, even though she's never said it before, she wasn't sure before. She'd like, she didn't want to promise and get his hopes up, and then he would inevitably fail. I don't know why that was so hard to say. But now she's just like, I'm in her head, she's like, I'm sorry, I never said this before. And now she's just like, I know you can do it. And then cut to this dude showing up who looks like Julius. Like, I thought it was Julius, but then I go to a second glance and I'm like, the star thing is on the wrong side of the head. And also, it wasn't a star, it's like a half sun. Also, Julius has blonde hair. You have black hair, sir. Who are you? So I don't know who he is. Might be a sibling, maybe. We see him earlier talk in hell with the demons. So for sure, I think he eats he takes the demon's heart. So for sure, he is a demon host. Just don't know exactly who he is. And finally, we end it with, of course, One Piece. We get the Momonosuke not wanting Yamato to fight and being like, no, don't, and they're fighting. We get to see some more of the scroll jutsu, things like that. We find out that way far down underneath Wano country is the real Wano country that has apparently been flooded. And the whole reason it's hard to enter Wano country is because the island is raised up, but it's not raised up on the ocean. It's raised up on these like cliffs that appeared where, so Wano used to be down at the base of the Fiji mountain. And then suddenly these walls appeared and flooded the old town, and they all migrated up to the top, which explains back to the beginning when Sanji was like, those are freshwater fish. How can they be swimming here in seawater? Because the water from Wano's overflow is rainwater that's been caught in this like bowl it created. So that's a cool little tidbit thing there. And it turns out that opening the waters of Wano, because that's the reason Zunisha has to be there. To open the borders of Wano, Zunisha needs to tear down those walls and find out that to open Wano's borders means to unleash Poseidon. We still don't know what Poseidon is. There's a thought that Poseidon might be Momonosuke. We don't know. Cut back to the fight where Momonosuke is like, look, Yamato, you can't fight because I'm giving you a proper send-off. You're leaving with Luffy, Jinbei, Zoro. You're leaving with the Straw Hats and the other pirates. And what kind of people can we be, those of us who stay here in Wano, if we can't protect Wano by ourselves? And I was just like, exactly what I was thinking, Momo. And then comes what I've personally dubbed as the begone thought moment of Momo yelling begone and shooting his dragon's breath at Green Bull multiple times, to the point where Green Bull has to use his Logia ability to essentially reform himself. And as he's reforming himself, it's like, all right, you want to throw down, boy? Hockey blast from behind. Dude, this hockey blast comes through, and Green Bull instantly in his human form, out of his Logia form. And I'm just like, what? And it's Shanks. Shanks is throwing these hockey blasts at him. And it's just like, you would cut down these sprouts who are just now sprouting to create the new era. There's a theory out there. People are thinking that Green Bull can actually hear what Shanks is saying. I don't think so. I think he understands the anger and malice behind Shanks's hockey, but he doesn't actually hear what Shanks is saying. Because when it cuts back to Shanks, like, you see him, he is up on the side of his ship, got his foot is up, getting ready to like jump off that side to go into attack mode. branding his sword, and you can see the way he's holding it and kind of the way he is tense. He is pissed. He is angry at Green Bull at the moment. There is so much anger and malice behind his Conqueror's hockey in that moment that I don't I a lot of people are like, oh, Green Bull's such a, like, he's so lame for being a, like, I don't blame him. If I felt this anger and malice coming from Shanks and I knew it was Red Hair's hockey, I also would be fearful for my life. So he ends up just dipping out. He's just like, oh, look, I ain't fighting you. He literally was like, I am not ready to fight you, Shanks, not yet. And he dips out. And then it cuts to Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and Jinbei, who are off on the cliff of the Flower Capital, watching the whole ordeal, and just like, hey, they did it. Look, he's leaving. And Luffy just literally side comment mentions how the hockey made him think of a familiar face. So that was nice. But yeah, that's all of them. That's it for this week. Like I said, I'll promise to really try hard this next week to get this out earlier. Thanks for watching this video, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see y'all on the next one. Peace.